Brilliance Audio presents Evolution by Eileen Myles, performed by the author. I am Ann Lee. I thought that would be a good place to start. I am Eileen Myles. I am 67 years old. My mother died on April 3rd. She was 96. I have not had sex since January. I'm writing to you from Cape Cod. It was a horrible week. It was kind of a stray week. I really wanted to be home in New York, and I had just gotten back from 3 weeks in Palestine, Ukraine, and Russia. I resisted the impulse to say, the Ukraine. Is that its name? I just wanted to be home after that. I had planned to be in Provincetown in August, but there was this available week in June. I thought that'd be nice. Yeah, but won't you be tired? You know that thing where you know something, but you speed up over that voice, convincing yourself that the logical thing is true. I came up here with a friend, and we did a little work together, and next morning she got on one of those tiny planes. We thought this is such a Sagittarian trip that she would drive up to the Cape with me and my dog to do a little work and leave the next morning in order to hear a band named Radiates, spelled Red Aunts, that she really loves. And they were, after all, really great. I began my week of relaxing and working and being in my home state. I began to miss my mom. Around weather. Because it was horrible this week. It rained all day long and all night long. I didn't have to go to the beach, but it was cold too, and I was staying in an unheated shack in a part of Provincetown called Tasha Hill, which is very rustic, which means wet wood and hobbit houses and goats and horses and roaming dogs and chipmunks, but really chilly. And the internet wasn't working and the gas wasn't on, and using the space heater, I blew a fuse. It's a circuit, corrected Thomas, who I rented the place from. Who cares? It blew. It rained, and I wanted to call my mother in her nursing home in Greenfield and say, what do you think of this weather? And she would say, it stinks. But I can't. That's exactly the way I miss my mother. A deepening of the abyss with a hoot. I miss that. There were many nice moments, including one last night when it was already nice again, and I was stepping over a wall onto the wooden ladder onto the beach, and I thought, I'm like Tennessee Williams. I'm like an old queer in the winter in Provincetown, waiting for Marlon Brando to come down and fix the pipes, and then prove to be the right one to play Stanley in Streetcar Named Desire. I did a little bit of research. Ann Lee thought that she was the church. Get it? An edifice. And that is a radical thought. Not being cast as a thing. The live woman expanding out. Jesus was the church, and she was the church. She was the second coming, and now God was complete, being both woman and man. It's so important that she had those 4 miscarriages and never proved to lay an egg correctly and convinced her blacksmith husband to not lay eggs with her. People chuckle when you say Shakers, when you remind them they were celibate. How did they reproduce? Well, they adopted. They recruited. Foundlings. There were indentured Shakers, I read, which I am waiting for someone to explain the relationship between economic servitude and shakerhood. The fact that you don't have to breed to survive is inspiring to me. Or maybe it's you won't have to die right away. Ann Lee could have kept trying, and one of those pregnancies might have made a baby, and one of them would kill her. Not now, she said, lifting a hand. I won't survive, but my church will, my work. That it was thought up or furthered by a woman who is not barren or infertile, but generative. I am Eileen. I am not celibate. I'm sort of between relationships, and I've had sex a few times in the gap, but I've had a bit of that feeling of, who is this for? So I thought, that's no way to go ahead.